closet was only about this big. It wasn't a regular closet.
You taped his mouth up, shut.
And then I went to sleep. Like 2
My
hours
bad.
later, I
I'll be
woke
back.
up
I'll be
and
back.
I remembered.
Fuck this. I'll be back. Fuck this.
Meet me after slashing your wrist, or at the end if you so insist. I'm persistent when told to cease and desist with this blasphemous shit.
Hello, Chalet. This one. What's this one? Abusive mother. Disgusting. This should trigger me. Nothing I hate more. Okay, maybe there are. But one of my super pet peeves is shit mums. I can't stand them. Cannot stand them. And what's annoying, Mother's Day is attributed to every fucking mum. There should be different grades of Mother's Day. You know, like Pride Month and all that. We should maybe have Mother's Month and some mums get the Bronze Star. You know, the ones that barely get their kids to school. And then some mums get the Gold Star. The ones that, I don't know. I don't know what a good mum is. I never had one.
Welcome to the show. My guest is Janelle. Janelle, why are you here?
I'm here because I've been abusive to my son since he was about 6 months.
Yo! What the fuck? I thought we was meant to start with the victim. I know it says mother's shocking, but victim? As you gathered, I did not expect it to start like that.
When he was about 6 months, he was crying for a long time and he was getting on my nerves, so I taped his mouth up and I put him in the closet. The closet was only about this big. It wasn't a regular closet.
You taped his mouth up, shut.
And then I went to sleep. Like 2
My
hours
bad.
later, I
I'll be
woke
back.
up
I'll be
and I
back.
remembered.
Fuck this. I'll be back. Fuck this. Okay, motherfucker's back, man. I brace myself. And forgive me if I say any personal insults. But behavior like that doesn't warrant respect.
That he was in the closet and he was sleeping, he was laying on the floor. He could be crying.
She wants to start fucking smirking. Look at her, the bitch. Look at her. She was... Did I see it? Am I just being triggered? Or was she about to start smiling? Like she achieved something. Fucking hell.
Crying for whatever reason, or he could be laughing. I would still smack him. When he was about 4, I smacked him. I beat him up pretty bad, and I said, "Go sleep in the trash, because that's where you sleep. You trash, just like your father. You just like your father." Then I went to sleep again, and I left him there. When I woke up, he was still in the trash because he was afraid that if he got up, I would beat him again.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say to that. You ever seen my show before?
Yes.
Then you know you should tell your story standing up, right?
Because he looked just like his father. I didn't see him as my son. I saw him as his.
Bruh. When a mum's a good mum, the only thing more pure than that is a child. But when a mum is a bad mum, very few things in this world are more evil or possible to understand. And bad mums seem to have different reasons. Some never actually come to terms with being a mum. They still want to be single. Out all the time. Some don't want to be on their own. So they're always trying to get a man's attention, neglecting them. Some, like she just said, hold resentment towards the child's father. Some just crave attention of other people, so they'll make their child sick. That last one is essentially attempted murder immediately. But all the others, and there's various more, I'm sure. If you got a shit mum, feel free, fling her in the comments. But with all those different categories, there's various degrees. So there are some mums that are desperate to be in a relationship or desperate to have someone there for them, but they still get done what needs to get done. So not every mother who's lonely is a bad mother, not at all. I'm just saying that's one of the reasons why they can potentially be a bad mum. And then with all them different degrees, you start up another bar graph on how neglected or how abused or how close to death the child actually is. Some kids have shit mums but are never close to death. Some kids have shit mums and they're close to death their entire life. But that one is a hard one. And it's one that affects men directly. Because she'll also, if he wanted to be in the child's life, she would stop it. There was a case, what happened? It was in Hackney. It was in my cousin's block. A woman and the man had split up. The man had moved out, and the woman was angry at that and kept playing mental games to try and get him back or something. This is years ago. But essentially, she called him one night, I think it was a Friday night, she called him and said she was going to kill the child. So he's tried to make his way there, he's called the police and everything on his way there, and by the time they got there, she had killed the child. How would he ever recover from that? Every aspect of his life would be destroyed. Every aspect. He will never be the same person again. He'll never have love again. If he's got other children, they're gonna suffer. They pretty much would have lost the dad, you know. Like when they hate the dad, they can hate the dad. And that hate overrides the love for the children. And it's terrifying. And it's worse when the child looks like the fucking dad. Christ. I can't even imagine it, like being that angry and then seeing their face, but it's not them. And then being so consumed with it that you take it out on them just because they're a representation of the person you actually hate. That's next level. How long has this been on? 3 minutes? I'm sorry. 1 minute and 22. Oh my God, I'm triggered.
His son. That's how I could do it.
But you know, you talk about taping his mouth when he was how old?
He was about 6 months.
You could have killed him.
I was trying to shut him up.
But you talk about this like you're ordering a sandwich. No emotion, no, oh, Steve, you know, I'm crying, nothing.
He was smiling at me, and he was telling me he loved me. And I was hating him, just looking at him. And I said, it's about time I do something. I could have kept abusing him. I would have did it Nobody
So is
really
this-
knew.
What's it called?
But I called DHS to come get him.
But he knew, right? He knew he was being abused.
That is why I made him go.
And how long did this take? 4 years?
5.
5 years. Well, I stopped the abuse after 5 years.
You're not me.
No, you're right. You're damn right I'm not you.
So you think
What are you smirking about?
because I
That's what I'm
can.
saying.
Because you don't know me.
How do you smirk? How do you even fix a smile on your face when you talk about abusing your son?
I'm not talking about abusing my son.
You know what?
Now she's talking about being heroic and realizing what she was doing and coming to terms with it and getting help. Suck your mom. Suck your mom. That's not for her to say. That's for the therapist to say, well done, you're making progress. That's not for the world to congratulate you on. You got to spend the rest of your life groveling. And that child's never going to forget. And that child's going to have issues all through life now because of that. Bruh. Do you know when I tell my children off for something? Or I forget to get something or anything? I'm thinking about that shit for days, bro. And because I'm like, I guess technically a weekend dad, so I don't get to see them as often. And now they're getting older, I'm seeing them even less. Fucking heartbreaking. But because I'm a weekend dad and that, I have time on my own to think about it. You know? And it just dwells. And she's proud of herself for finally waking up after 4 years. I understand. This isn't an attack on postnatal depression or any such condition. Okay, it's not an attack. I understand that. But 4 years, like, she is not the victim at that point. She maybe couldn't have helped it to start with. But as she said, she was able to speak up. So that's not something she was completely out of control of. Does that make sense? 4 years old. From 6 months. So imagine that child is suppressing absolutely every single emotion. Terrified. And that's all life is. When you're up to 4, you haven't been exposed to other people yet, or kindergarten or anything like that. So that's your whole experience is essentially like in this room. And you know, when you stand up, it pisses her off. When you laugh, it pisses her off. When you cry, it pisses her off. Fucking hell. 3-4 years of conditioning. When is that trauma gonna leave?
Don't rest on my chair. I don't want you to rest on anything.
Trust me.
Where's
Jesus.
Valentine? Is this real? Is this real?
It is, because I can tell by the look on your face that you really are disgusted with me.
Yeah, I am.
After a while, he actually tried to fight back, but he was so little that pissed me off even more. So I would beat him worse.
And when you say you beat him, how'd you beat him?
Punching him, kicking him, smacking him, throwing stuff at him. Just about anything imaginable. I had somebody to beat up. Everybody was beating up on me, so I could beat up on him. I actually enjoyed beating my son.
It's hard to do the show sometimes, it really is. And I think about somebody doing something to my son like you did to yours. And I want to, like, rip this studio apart.
His father knew. I smacked him I was on the phone with his father. His father made me mad, and I smacked him. And all he did was like, don't smack my son. He could have called the cops. I called the people because I wanted help.
Beat him, you slapped him, you kicked him, you taped his mouth shut, you put him in the closet, you made him sleep in the garbage,
And in the closet.
and you say it with a smirk on your face.
I still see my son on the weekends. I don't beat him no more.
When's the last
Shouldn't
time you
be
hit your
allowed
son?
anywhere near him.
Last week.
Oh, yeah. Here, you want to sit? Good enough for your son, right? Should be good enough for you, right? Imagine your son laying in that. That's nice. That's real nice.
Do you know what she just did there? Look at her. She's looking at the fucking bin and saying, no, it's not the kind of bin I put him in. She looks like she's thinking, nah, bro, the bin was smaller than that.
No, it's more trash than it.
What did she say?
Imagine your son laying in that. That's nice. That's real nice.
No, it's more trash than it.
You know, half of I didn't know you did to my son. So all that you talking, I really want to choke
Don't
out of
fuck
you.
off, guy.
No, you know.
Fuck
Don't.
off, guy.
He gonna get
No.
up. All right, you wanna holler at me?
Fuck off, guy.
Out of here. You wanna holler at me? He knew, and I told
I
him from
knew.
the get. So I'm bad.
So
He
when
ain't
did I
no
know?
better.
She
You
doesn't
said if
know.
somebody did that to your son, you would have did whatever you did.
Yeah.
He knew. He knew.
you,
Get
guy.
out my face.
Back up.
He knew. He wants you to
I
come
wanna
out here and
stomp
feel.
My
the
stage.
Back up, bro.
I'm sorry. I threw my cards down. I don't even know what your name is.
Gerald.
Gerald?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you get custody of your son?
I had to keep fighting through the court system. She wouldn't. Every time we went to court, she'd cry and wouldn't say half in court. Without no proof, I don't have nothing but her word against my word. But I kept fighting, and I finally got custody of my son.
Does your little boy have problems because of what has happened to him?
None.
He's okay then.
And he loves her to death.
He's got purpose.
Isn't that sad? And she talks about today, she's here because she wants her son back.
She would never get him back.
Do you hit her?
I hit her one time.
And when,
I had my son in my hand leaving to take him with me. And she came with two big butcher knives in her hand. And I told her, you get too close to me, I'm going to hit you. She don't have supervised visitation. So she can take my son anywhere she wants.
I think you take a copy of this show and you go to the judge and you say, you know,
I'm the bad one, huh? I came at you with a butcher knife, though. I came at him with a butcher knife because he was beating the crap out of me. You a lie. Yeah, I look bad because I'm telling you the truth.
When
He
did I
not
hit
telling you the truth.
When
For
did I
real,
hit
for real. He knew the whole time, and he done beat me up 3 times in front of my son. You lying. I'm not going to stand up here and lie on him. He never would abuse my son. That's the truth. But that's because he wasn't around half the time.
she abused him now?
No, he would never hurt my son. I'm not going to come out here and lie.
But you would.
I'm not going to lie on him and say that he would abuse my son. When I called him for help, he wouldn't help me. I don't have nobody for me. I don't have no parents. I don't have nothing. It's not funny. I wasn't smiling because I thought it was cute. He took advantage of me, and then he left me with the baby.
Did you take advantage of this young girl?
No.
I was 19. He told me he loved me, and
Look,
that I was
did
his
it.
girlfriend.
At that point, I
he
did
had
love
a
you.
girlfriend.
I did
when
love
I
you,
got
but
kicked
I
out of where I
don't
was
love you.
because I was having a baby. I don't want to be with him, but I shouldn't have had this kid.
I'm really trying not to
If I'm gonna tell the
grab
truth, he
her.
gotta tell the truth too. He beat me up 3 times, and every time he
Did
beat
you
me up,
beat
it was
her
in
up?
front of my son.
Did you
No,
beat her up?
I did not beat.
Beat me up with the knife incident. He is 6'4". He was beating the crap out of me. My son was 2. He was standing
thought you
there.
wasn't coming at me
Did
with
he
a
call?
knife.
No, I said I did come after you at the knife. Yes, I did.
She's
because he was
probably the
beating me
most
up.
honest guest we had. I mean, I'm not giving her.
I'm keeping it 100. I did what I did.
Did you know she was hitting him?
I knew she hit him when she called me on the phone.
Why didn't you put a stop to it?
I went and got my son. She'll call the cops, say I kidnapped him. We go to court. She'll start crying.
That's a lie.
You know what?
Then
As much as I despise this woman, she tells the truth.
I
one
would have
thing-
never got with you if I didn't have all the issues that I already had. And he knew I had issues. When he met me, that's what made me so.
You know, I don't rate him. Cool, I appreciate he's got the son now. But why the fuck did he walk straight up in her face when the whole shit is about abuse? That let me know he did know, bro. He did fucking know. I 100% believe him in the fact that it would have been difficult. 100% believe that. I know that shit. He probably had to fight for bare long. But don't act like he's trying to act like he didn't know it was as bad as it was. He fucking knew, bro. He knew what was going on. Don't act like that. Don't do that, bro. But again, I appreciate that he's there now.
Hold on. Okay, hold on a second. You ever abuse your son?
No,
Never.
never.
All right. You keep doing it. You keep taking care of your son. I hope that, you'll protect him.
I will protect him.
And I hope at some point that things will work out better for your son, that he'll know two loving parents and not two people that are just at each other's throats all the time, okay? Thanks for being on the show.
I gotta go get some help. I love my son and I hate my son. I don't like to look at him for a long period of time. I'm not a bad person, but he stuck me with this baby. And he never wanted to be with me. And this is for life.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. But the one thing I would say to you is I do see somebody that I think wants to make a change in their life. I think it's somebody that realizes they made mistakes, some bad mistakes. So yeah, I want to help you. I want to help you, and I want to make sure that you never do that to your son again.
That's why I'm here.
I think you're making a powerful statement to everybody out there. Yes, I abused my son. I put a stop to it. And I want to hear you say, you're never going to do it again.
I won't. But I don't think it's best for him to come
I
see me
believe you.
now.
I believe you. I think you need help.
And I want him back. I just can't love him right.
Are you ready to go get some help?
Yeah, the sooner I get help, the sooner I get my baby back.
Let's go get you some help.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's easy to hate people and everything and dismiss them and all that. We all do fuck shit, but I do feel like I get influenced by character a lot. That's why Dude triggered me, because he's had how many years to sort this shit and he acts like that now. That's mad. That just seemed like he was already the hero. He didn't need to come out and project. Do you know what I mean? So something felt not right, and I believe it. I reckon he did better. Why is she gonna lie about that when she said that one of the worst things you could say as a human being? Do you know what I mean? But then speaking as a child whose mum didn't give a shit. I come to terms with it quite early. Every now and again I might have a little fit about it. But I come to terms with just me and my dad quite early and that. But I do know if I'd ever seen my mum, if I ever thought my mum cared about me like that, and admit how shit she is, I don't think I would have rejected that. Does that make sense? I don't know. But as a person that's not in that family, I would advise the child to not be anywhere near her. But having been that child, that would have meant a lot to me. So fuck knows what's going to happen in the future with that one.